Is the Buddha in your temple all right? Let's say our body is a temple. And in the center of our temple, there is a Buddha, which is our mind that hears, senses, and guides us to think and act. We all have this Buddha and temple within us. Now, let's take a closer look inside your temple. Is your Buddha happy? Is your temple happy with your Buddha? Today, I'd like to share thoughts about making a Buddha offering to ourselves. Another way to think about this is how to love ourselves. Last month, at the end of every early morning meditation, we contemplated the koan of Shakyamuni Buddha's affirmation at his birth. In heaven above and on earth below, I alone am honored. What does this mean? What does this mean? At first, this quote might sound like Buddha was being arrogant. Or this could be a quote developed over time by his followers. Whether we believe this was a true quote from Buddha or not, we can glean Dharma from it. To tell you the story briefly, about 2600 years ago, when Buddha was alive, Hindu traditions were pervasive in the area he was living. In Hindu culture, every incident or event was seen or understood to be the act of God. So in the quote I read earlier, when Buddha said heaven above, he meant the world of gods. When he said earth below, he meant the world of people. When he said I alone am honored, he meant that amongst everything, I am the most precious one throughout the world of God and the world of humans, not a goddess or God or some member from hierarchy. And that applies to every one of us. This quote is Buddha's declaration of human dignity, that each and every one of us is so precious that we are all Buddhas. But can you honestly say that you enshrine yourself or your Buddha at the center of your temple or your life? What about money? As founding master Sotaesan said, we live in the era of material, and the power of material things is growing stronger. There is no I, but only material in our temple. And I also asked myself, what else do I enshrine in the temple, center of my body, other than some possessions? Am I obsessed with the glorious past or the future that has not come? Am I swollen by fame, knowledge, and beliefs, or tied up to my family or relationships? Yeah, these are important things, but would you let such things take over your temple? No wonder why our teachers have emphasized the importance of making Buddha offerings to ourselves. So, the Buddha offering. In traditional Buddhism, offerings are made to the triple jewels, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, as a way of showing respect and gratitude and as a method of practice. In Won Buddhism, the meaning of Buddha offering is interpreted more broadly and can be expressed with this motto: everywhere a Buddha image, every act Buddha offering, which implicitly describes the faith of Won Buddhism. Just as I am precious, everyone around me is precious, then Buddha is everywhere. That in our mind, whatever we do, it is a Buddha offering, as if we are serving the precious Buddhas. Recently, during Thursday evening Dharma, we went through passages 14 through 17 of the chapter on doctrine, which describe what a Buddha offering is. There are two forms. One is the pragmatic Buddha offering, which is offered directly to the specific object of the fourfold grace. And you may know the story of an old couple and a daughter-in-law. The second is the Buddha offering to truth, which is made to the Dharmakaya Buddha via the formless Dharma realm of empty space, which includes prayer. The passages mostly describe offerings, outward offerings to certain objects, but there are more important ones. And here comes the Buddha offerings to oneself. Master Jeongsan said, "There is a saying, only when one takes good care of the Buddha in one's own temple will others do the same. Thus, you must discover the Buddha within yourself and sincerely make Buddha offerings to it. A Buddha offering may be made either to oneself or to an object, but it is best if these two proceed in tandem. As to which is primary and which secondary, a Buddha offering made to oneself is fundamental. Engaging first in one's own mind practice is what is meant by learning the right formula for Buddha offerings." So it all starts with me, with you. When it comes to the Buddha offerings to oneself, a pragmatic way can be taking good care of one's body and health, developing one's self-power, and learning and practicing to be a better person. In other words, manage your temple well. Buddha offerings to the truth can be learning to see, nurture, and use one's mind well, which is a fundamental thing or a starting point for all. In other words, care for your Buddha. Make it shine. Although One Buddhist teachings are practical and real-life based, I sometimes felt they were vague or too idealistic when I only say about something beyond words and speech, like let go of attachment, no self, selfless service. Well, at the time, there are reasons because there was no myself. Years ago, when I took my first assignment after graduate school, I thought a reverend should always smile to lay members and never show negative emotions like sadness, anger, or inner conflict. I thought I must always say yes to my seniors or follow the directions from the One Buddhist order without question. Is that the right way of so-called believing? I was meeting people, having fun and practicing, but felt something was missing because there was no I in the temple of Shan. So now, I question everyone, my fellow Kyomunims, masters, until it makes sense. And then I believe more deeply. Why? A person of wisdom and knowledge is not guaranteed to be a perfect person. I still ask questions with a clear understanding of myself and a deeper belief in my practice. So in order to be no self, what do I need? Myself. Myself, the object that I want to get rid of. I need to clarify what myself is. For me to let go of attachment, what do I need? My eagerness or desire to see where my thoughts are attached to. We may then sort out and decide which one to let go and which one to expand to the great vows. I should have known this, but I was so naive or dumb that I skipped the exploration of myself, lost chances of making Buddha offering to myself, but jumped right into somewhat noble way, pretending that, oh, I am some selfless person, Gyomunim. But in fact, I did not know what myself is at all. Do you all know yourself well? Hervansion? Is your Buddha happy? Is your temple happy with your Buddha? Let us first love ourselves with the Buddha offerings to ourselves, and then care for others wholeheartedly with that love. Thank you.